Eagles fans, what's up? This is your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. We're about 2 days removed from that Sunday beatdown that the Philadelphia Eagles gave the Denver Broncos in their own home stadium at Mile High. I can't get it out of my mind for the simple fact that we really took care of business first and foremost, but you really saw the maturation of Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni collectively when it comes to play calling for Nick Sirianni and when it comes to just pure pocket presence, respectively, for Jalen Hurts. The team overall did a really good job as well, just controlling the pace of the game, being dominant, and also just imposing their will on the opposing team's uh, trenches. For example, our offensive line was dominating our defensive line. They couldn't really do much with it in any capacity. Running game was off the charts. I believe for another week we had over 200 yards rushing. So that's something that we need to continue to try to maintain. It's not going to be easy, but if we can stay close to that 150 plus yard rushing yards number, that'd be amazing for this offense. It'll also give Jalen Hurts an opportunity to get things done in the passing game. But let's just go down the line of some of the things that really stuck out to me about that 30-13 dominating win over the Broncos. First and foremost, we were 6 for 13 on third down. That's above league average. So we were moving the chains. We were able to sustain drives, and that wasn't by an accident. We accumulated for 12 rushing first downs, and then we had 10 passing first downs as well. So there was balance there. We were unpredictable in terms of our third down conversions. You couldn't really tell what we were going to do in any given situation, and that's when the play calling comes in. Nick Sirianni did a great job calling those 64 plays and just keeping the Denver Broncos from being able to get a beeline on exactly what we were trying to do. It seemed like the entire game the Denver Broncos were just a step behind or just playing catch up when it came to what Nick Sirianni was trying to do. So having that 6 for 13 third down conversion rate just allows us to be a better offense. It allows us to tire out their defense, and it allows us to put up more points on the board. We accumulated for 22 total first downs to the Denver Broncos 17. On top of that, the Denver Broncos only had a 1 for 11 third down conversion rate. So, like I said in my previous videos, if we're going to beat them, we have to force them into a bunch of third and long situations and make it difficult for them to convert third down. And that's exactly what we did. They were only 1 for 11 for them on third down, and that's terrible by any team's estimation. Uh, Jalen Hurts, 16 for 23, 172 passing yards. Not amazing, but serviceable because he was locked in. He took advantage of every opportunity that that defense gave him. He would have had 3 touchdowns because Watkins dropped his best pass of the day in the end zone. But nonetheless, Jalen Hurts played a very efficient game, 16 for 23, averaging a little over 7 yards per pass. Only threw one, he threw one interception, but the ball was tipped and the running back didn't pick up the block, so he was forced to get rid of that ball early. But he has to be a little bit more disciplined. He can't panic in those situations. He has to either get out of dodge, take the sack, or just throw the ball away. But it seemed like he was trying to make the pass. And the offensive line only gave up 1 sack throughout the entire game. Not bad. Then you think about the rushing game. Rushing game in totality, 40 rush attempts, averaging a little over 5 yards a carry. So by that math, this team was able to just run the ball all day and convert. And we were 1 for 3 in the red zone. I would like that to be a little bit sharper. But I want to talk about the way the defense played in the red zone. The Denver Broncos were 1 for 5 in the red zone. They only were able to convert their red zone opportunities 1 out of 5 times. This defense came through and they forced turnovers. Most notably that forced fumble by Davion Taylor, and then my man Darius Slay scooped it up and took it in for the TD. And we dominated time of possession. That's the thing. So we led the game in rushing yards, and we dominated time of possession. That's pure. That's pure control, in my humble opinion. When you're able to dominate time of possession and you have a legit running game, no team can stop you. I don't care what anyone says. And we were able to score in every quarter. 10 points in the first quarter, 10 points in the second quarter. 7 points in the third quarter, and then we got a little modest in that fourth quarter, only putting up 3 points. But to bookend the game, first quarter and fourth quarter, the Philadelphia Eagles dominated first and fourth quarter. Didn't allow the Denver Broncos to put up any points in that first. Didn't allow them to put up any points in that fourth. So that's the perfect bookend to a very dominant win over the Denver Broncos team. I'm really curious to see how we move forward from this game, because this is by far the best win of the season. This is the highest quality of victory for us. We're now 4-6, and we have a chance to sneak into that seventh seed in the playoffs. That's the interesting thing about this season. It seemed like things have been out of whack, and it seemed like we haven't really been able to really maintain some level of consistency. But overall, when you think about it in totality, the team is growing. They have a new head coach. They have a new starting quarterback. Um, we had some key injuries along the way. And then we have a new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator. The entire staff is basically brand spanking new. So this team has been trying to develop an identity. Granted, we've been saying from the beginning we're not running the ball enough, and the city knew from the earliest standpoint of the season that we weren't running the ball enough. And I don't know why it took the coaching staff to realize that at this point in the season, but good thing they realized it when they did. And now we're starting to actually get the ball rolling. We're starting to establish an identity, and teams are having to really come into our house, or when they face us, rather, they have to be respectable of what we bring to the table. This Philadelphia Eagles team is dangerous at this point in the season. A lot of teams need to be on their P's and Q's. This is not the same Eagles team from week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. This Eagles team is starting to really come together. They're starting to actually believe in what they're doing. The defensive guys are starting to be more aggressive, playing more downhill. The offensive guys, like the running back room, those guys are helping dictate the pace and really picking up the slack from Miles Sanders, who hasn't been here due to being injured, and he's on IR. He's actually eligible to come back this week, so we'll see how he gets ingratiated into the system at this point. But having guys on the outside like Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, and then you got Dallas Goedert in the middle, who's been able to create space, who's been able to get open, and who's been able to convert the catches that they need to convert. And then you think about Jalen Hurts, who hasn't been asked to do as much these past few weeks as compared to earlier in the season. You think about weeks 8, 9, and 10. He hasn't been asked to do nearly as much from week 9 all the way back to week 1. Week 1 through week 9, his usage rate was in the high. What was it, like above 80%? Now that number is significantly dropped, and he's not. And I don't think he's thrown for more than 200 yards at one point since we started running the ball like this. So I would love to see him start. I would love to see him starting to take more shots down the field, get that passing yards number above 200, and then you think about what he brings to the game in terms of being an elusive runner. When you combine those numbers, he can pretty much give you 250, 270 yards plus of offense, him alone, with his arm and his legs. And I'm cool with that because he's young and he's still developing. Having guys around him like Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, when Miles Sanders comes back, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott, Dallas Goedert, that's a nice young nucleus to really nurture and build around. Then you got that veteran offensive line, guys like Landon Dickerson coming into the fold as a rookie. Jordan Mailata, that guy's been earning his paycheck as well. So it's really exciting to see where this Eagles team takes it from here. We have the New Orleans Saints coming into Philadelphia this week on Sunday. So the question becomes, can this Philadelphia Eagles team go on a run? Can they establish a winning streak? This game, excuse me, you guys, I'm a little under the weather. This game this week arguably is the biggest matchup of the season, because this game can literally define where we go from here. It can define whether we can actually make a run for a playoff spot, or if we're just going to fall back into bad habits and we're still trying to figure out who we are. But I believe we can get that win. The New Orleans Saints, have an injured Jameis Winston, who is done for the season. They've been relying on Trevor Siemian, and they've lost their past 2 games. And also Alvin Kamara has been injured as well. So we can actually take advantage of those guys. Their defense is their thing right now. And they don't really have any skill position guys that really scare you at the moment. Michael Thomas is out for the year. So we have a legit chance to catch this New Orleans Saints team slipping. And if we get this win, the first win at home, then this can be the precursor. This can be the springboard to us establishing our first win streak of the season. And I'll leave it at that. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry. And fly goes fly.